The question I'm answering is critique your interpersonal and communication skills during your placement, especially your ability to be assertive when needed. So during my placement, it was essential to use interpersonal and communication skills when working with my partner, with working with the residents and their family members, and when working with other staff members. So in relation to communication between me and my partner, I feel like I did that pretty well. We always talked about our thoughts and ideas and anything that was bothering us. We were very clear in our communication. Probably the most difficult thing about communicating with my partner was sometimes that we found that we weren't on the same page about an intervention or an idea or how a client might respond to things. So that was probably the most difficult, but it was always easily sorted just by saying, hey, I don't think that will work, or like just sharing our reasoning behind our thoughts. But yeah, I definitely found it difficult to be assertive with my partner just because I didn't want to push the boundaries or I guess upset her in any way. It did just come down to the fact that everybody sees things differently, and I just had to accept that what I see and the way that I comprehend it in my brain could be completely different to the way she sees it. So, and neither of us are wrong in our views. We just had to share our ideas and then make a decision of what we both thought was clinically relevant for our resident. So it's probably a good experience to have in preparation for fourth year, because I'm sure that that situation will come up a lot where you're working with people and you will have completely different views on the same topic. So yeah, looking back, that's probably a positive experience in my communication and has made me see the importance of being able to talk and have an open communication rather than being too afraid to mention something. In relation to communication with my residents, I thought I did this very well. I was very clear in my voice, also volume and tone. It's very important when working in aged care, and the fact you have to be clear with what you say. You can't talk about it in a roundabout way. You have to just get straight to the point pretty much. I found that was the most effective way to communicate. In comparison to sometimes I saw my partner, she had a kind of a lower tone in her voice, and a lot of the times the residents got a bit confused, and I just had to step in and say what she was saying, but in a more clearer way than they understood. But yeah, that definitely highlighted the importance of being strong in your voice, clear in what you say, and also my body language. I always tried to have an open body language and tried to have eye contact as much as possible. One of my dementia patients didn't like eye contact at all. She would always just look down, but I still tried to maintain open body language with her. In relation to communicating with other staff members, I probably found these quite difficult just because I was coming into their facility, so I didn't want to overstep my mark or anything like that. I think I could improve in this area. I was still pretty clear in my communication, and I would respond to whatever they asked of me, but I probably could have sought communication a bit better. Like, I didn't really go out of my way to go and ask someone a question if I wanted to ask them something or find out some extra information. So in preparation for fourth year, I'd probably want to have the confidence to communicate more with staff members and not be afraid to ask them questions, and also probably just to be really clear in what I'm asking, because sometimes I get a little bit mixed up when talking. But yeah, in saying that, I think I was very respectful in my communication and always very clear, so I'll just keep improving on that for fourth year. I found it difficult to be assertive with staff as well. There was one staff member that didn't really understand why we were there and just always asked us to do stuff around the facility, more chore like stuff like cleaning the bird cage and making cups of tea, which was fun, but it did come to a point where it was taking out of our time with the residents. So looking back on that experience, I would probably want to use my communication and interpersonal skills to address that issue, and just be able to speak about it and explain my role in the facility. Yeah, because I didn't end up saying anything, I just did what she said. But I think for fourth year, looking back, that would be a point where I could improve my communication skills. So yeah.